Yo, 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 yo. What's good, dialoguers? This your boy, Mind Dialogue, back with another one. I am here to give you an update regarding today's session and the result of my trade. So, your boy's been getting not caught off sides, but I've been getting a little too early or just, not fully locked in. And so I'm going to update y'all on what took place today, what I was seeing, clean the screen up a little bit so it doesn't look so noisy. Before we jump into things, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. If you want to continue receiving amazing gems and some top tier analysis, if you want to support the channel, go ahead and my Cash App is $Mind Dialogue, one word. That's $MineDialogUE, and email is minddialogue, one word, .business@gmail.com. That's minddialogue.business@gmail.com. So let's get into this thing, y'all. So there's quite a few things happening today. I could have caught the better move of the day, which was us running puts. I'm gonna hide drawings for a second just to clean things up a little bit. Well, let me switch things I wanna, and I'll add them back as time goes on. I'm gonna delete some of these things and kind of let y'all know like what I was looking at. Let's clean some of that up. Yeah, let's clean all of this up. Matter of fact, let's just clean all of this up. Let me see if I want to keep my discount levels on there. They are pretty key, but we're gonna I'm gonna take all of it off. Why is one thing going so slow? Not sure. All right. Let's remove these drawings for a moment. Take the indicator off. So I had a bunch of drawings on there. So I didn't catch the more prominent move of the day, which were these puts going down. I did catch an entry to go back up right here, but it wasn't much of a move, and I got in too early. So I got in a little too early. Then they shook out one more time, and I just got out of my contracts at that point. Then I saw they were pushing back up after I was gone, and they got back to my entry. I'm not sure how high they got. The contracts were saying they got as high as 128, like they doubled. I'm just not sure exactly what they did, but nonetheless, I got in too early, got shook out. Let me tell you what I was targeting. So I was targeting, what's this, the 32-minute? Let me see if I see it on the hour. I think I was targeting here. I'm trying to find exactly where I was targeting to make sure. My bad, y'all. It's just why I should have cut my drawings. I might just put it back on there. I'm trying to see what I was targeting. I think, was it over here? I'm gonna put my drawings back on. My bad, y'all. There's too many important things I had on there. Let's see here. So that's important. I want this channel. This channel is actually, all these things are relatively important. I'm gonna keep the discount level. I'll take this one off right here. I'm going to take this one off right here. We'll take this. Delete this alert. I don't know what this level was. We're going to take that off. We're going to take this off. We're going to keep, just to clean things up, I'm going to keep that up there because that's key. This is key. Just take this extraness off right here. Take this extraness off here from yesterday, or it might have been from this morning actually. Let's put it back on. Let's take the orders off. Just want to clean it up as much as possible for y'all, because if I was new to trading or relatively new, or if not, I don't want you to be in all this noise. Let's take the indicator off. I'm just trying to clean it up as much as possible. We're going to take this off. Is this the 3 hour? Yeah, we're not going to take that off. We're going to keep that on. Let's take that off. We're going to take that off. What was that? Yeah, we're going to take that off. All right, I think that should be it. And then we're going to take these vertical lines off. That's where I entered and exit. I'll talk about that in a moment. So, and then we're going to hide, let's hide these drawings. I mean the text for now. I'm sorry, y'all. My allergies been just kicking my A, man. It's been terrible. I gotta get some eye drops. I need to get my life together. I never thought allergies would impact me like this. But apparently, they are. So I need to get that situated. But we're gonna take these, we're gonna take the text off just so we can have as little distractions as possible while I talk you through a couple key things. Alright, let's see here. So, get all these little trinkets off. Take it all off. Take it all off. Alright, cool. So, last night, excuse me, when I was doing this analysis for you all to see, this particular line right here was of importance to me, and it looked like it turned out to be of significance, right? Because let's go on the 5 minute here so we can see what happened in full context. Got this crazy looking almost hammer like, but not like a true hammer. I almost feel like it looked like they entered the market here, possibly to go down. That's probably why we got the move that we did. So I've been trying to study these type of algorithmic entries by the market, especially this is 4 a.m. in the morning once pre-market opens. This is a very like sore thumb looking type of candle. Like, look at this. You have nothing but a little piece of the body sitting clearly up top. So basically what they did was they opened, they sold off, right? They sold off completely. So it's like they freed up a bunch of supply. Then they bought it back up and then ended up close that top here. Then they like consolidated essentially in pre-market. So let's see here. If we were to draw like a consolidation area, I would probably do like I'm gonna do it on a bigger time frame so that I could see it a little bit cleaner. Let's go on the 30-minute. See if we can see a little bit cleaner. What's going on? No, it's not what I wanted to do. All right, let's go back. Where the heck is this thing at? This is wild. Okay. All right. So all right, I don't want to go on the 5 minute. I want to go on. Let's see what the 10 minutes looking like. 10 minutes, not bad. Let's see what the 15. I kind of like the 15 better. That's a little bit clearer. So if I was to draw like a consolidation area, it would probably be let's see. Let's say about right here. And the reason that sticks out to me is I want to capture the first like set of bodies here, which was this initial consolidation here, and give the green candle was like I mean, technically we could put it here. This probably makes more sense right here, actually. So that makes more sense because you can see the clear manipulation here. You can see that clear manipulation. And yeah, this consolidation area makes much more sense because look what happens after that. After we manipulate, right? We closed above, they swept it once, swept it one more time, came down, and then after that, you get they respect the top of that area right there a couple times, and then they send it down lower once we open market. All right, so this is the 15-minute, and so it looks like they did this manipulation up here pre-market the day before, came down into this channel, boom, we got the rejection off of two, like a manipulation plus a rejection off of these two different converging trend lines. You got this trend line here and you got this here. They manipulated above. This is probably an important let me draw the manipulation first. What was I looking at? On a bigger level, you got this manipulation right here, like outside of the bigger red area. This holds up the most until we come over here and dump. So one of the things I want to draw for you is, so before, remember I was telling you we had like this bigger head and shoulder where you got this left shoulder, you got this head portion here. Let me draw it with the triangle so you can see it again. And my bad, y'all, I'm a little out of it tonight, I'm not gonna lie. But I just want to be able to give you something. You got like this head portion here. So much time I got left. 15 minutes. You got this head portion here, and then they started making this right shoulder, which was higher. Now, my typical bias is when we get this right shoulder that's higher than the left shoulder, we should use the head portion as support to continue up. But it looks like this particular intermediate trend line here was of significance, and we got sent down. Now what's interesting is, even with the send down, right, you got this M pattern right here. You got like an inverse head and shoulders to send us down. That's really what this is. You got this head right here, so let's look at what happened. You got boom, boom, boom for the send down. You got this bigger head and shoulder. This inverse head and shoulder, which is essentially an M for the send down, right? But if you look at this right here, we're still technically higher than this left shoulder here. We haven't broken below this here, right? We're probably at like the last level to hold us down. So let's see here. If we were to, let me take some of this off to clear it up some. Let's say if we were to, let's do a measurement real quick. Let's do from like the early beginnings of this left shoulder up until like the high part of a piece of this right shoulder here. So I'm going to show you where. So I'm measuring here. I'm measuring right here. This is my starting point. I'll make that a different color. So this green here is my starting point, and I pulled it up to this end point over here. And I just literally looked at this like off of face value. And again, I've just seen this so many times that I could kind of like visualize where the important areas are going to be. So you got like this. Now you got this move that sent us down, but technically they're getting ready to start the right shoulder now, right? And I'm gonna show you why. So that measurement I did, watch this. The 60, remember, when I do a measurement, so I'm gonna make that, let me make this color. I want to make it something bold enough. Should we make it orange? No, that blends in with everything else. Red, no. We can make it green. I'll just make it really thick. All right, so check this thick green line out. Now, here you got the 62%. Now remember, whenever I measure from the bottom to the top, if I think we're still bullish, right, which is essentially my sentiment still, that's why I jumped into play to go up. I just didn't stay in it long enough because I didn't have time to play around. I got other stuff going on. So the unfortunate thing is, like, when you're playing with not enough capital and your contracts aren't that great, you kind of want to be in and out as quick as possible, and you need your moves to happen with momentum and acceleration. If they don't, they'll start chopping you, and as I said, your contracts start getting eaten away by theta decay or time decay, or however you want to term it. But essentially, if there's no real movement, your contracts are just going to lose value by default as time passes, if there's no real direction in favor of where you're trying to go. I was trying to go up. Now they went up a little bit, but then they chopped me back down. They came back down, and that's where I got out, because I was like, I already had the area that I was on the charts where I wanted to get out and all that. So I don't really question that stuff no more. So the reason I measure from bottom to top is because if I truly think we're going up, then I want to see how we respect the last level that should hold us up, which is the 62% here. And look how we bounced just perfectly into the 62% and into this very, very key. Remember I said I get these key areas, 1, 2, these very key areas when I do my discount level measurement. Look how it bounces beautifully into that area and also hits the 62%, to where right now, currently in aftermarket, we're above this trend line and in preparation to go back up. So what's interesting about these patterns, right? I never really was a huge pattern guy, but my friend put me on to these patterns specifically, just like a bunch of head and shoulders taking place all through the charts, and they take place on different time frames and different structures and things like that. So I showed you this M where we had this inverse head and shoulder to get sent back down, right? So there's a couple head and shoulders that are competing, right? So this consolidation going up was part of a bigger head and shoulders, which was the triangle area, or that first like upside down V of this M right here. And then they came and made the other side. Now it looks, we took out liquidity right here for the middle of the M, which was also a manipulation below the bottom of this trend line of these two red ascending channel going up, right? And essentially what happened there is it was a rising wedge, right? So if we take a trend line and say we tag the top here and tag that top, look what happens. Boom. They go into the corner here. Let me show you the corner. Whenever there's a wedge and they are headed inside of a corner, you can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be a breakout. It's just about where the breakout's going to take place. So you got this rising wedge here created by this channel, these two ascending red parallel lines, right? And at the basically as they're starting to come down for this upside down V essentially, or the second portion of this M, we're essentially going inside of this, we're creating a rising wedge and we're going inside of the corner here. But there's no more room to go inside, and so they break out to the downside. So you got a manipulation below that channel with the two red ascending parallel lines, which creates an inverse head and shoulder. That's why they came down, took out the manipulation liquidity, but they got support perfectly at the 62% and inside of this key area, and off of the context of, or on the context of this ascending consolidation left shoulder going up. And so to me, that's like the bigger head and shoulder, right? We're creating a very huge head and shoulder right now. So you could think of it like this. And then now, for example, let me show you another competing head and shoulder that's taking place, but it's a smaller one in my eyes than the bigger one. So let me show you the bigger one real quick. Like the granddaddy head and shoulders is like, it's like this right here. Probably do something like this, right? That's like the granddaddy head and shoulders, where you got your head here. There's your head. And then you got, look, you see this W here? So it's just a bunch of M and W's. But, so that's the bigger head and shoulder pattern. I think that's at play. But then you have this competing head and shoulder right now, that W that I just showed you. Look at this. But now you got this head and shoulder taking place right here, right? You got this head and shoulders. Boom, right there. See that? But yet and still, this still counts as 5 minutes the right side of the shoulder. So I think they're going to prepare to go back up, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow. Fed Chair Powell speaks, which is the chairman of the Federal Reserve. They're the one who, along with his board of governors, they essentially decide on whether there's going to be an interest rate reduction, pause, or interest rate hike. I think the market has talked about there being 2 reductions before the year is out. We're slightly past halfway of the year, so we'll see what happens with that. But if we get a reduction, I think price is going to fly. And I think we're getting ready to set up for this particular head and shoulder right here, because it's a smaller head and shoulder, technically a right shoulder on the cusp of this bigger head and shoulder here. And we're preparing to make the right shoulder, which is higher than this left shoulder. And typically when that happens, we get sent up. Within the context of all of this, us getting support in this area. So that's what happened. I entered, so real quick, let's see, we got about 3 minutes left. Let me show you real quick. So I entered, my entry wasn't too bad, but I should have waited a little bit more. I got in at, when I went and checked, they said I got in at 11:18 a.m., which is right, let me make sure, which was right, they said I get on, was it 11:18 or 11:28? Let me see real quick. It was, okay, 11, no, I sold at 11:20. I got in at 11:16. So I got in at right, boom, where that vertical line is, and ended up getting out at 28, which is right here. So once I thought we were gonna sweep and then bounce to go back up, but it looked like they wanted to, my eyes should have been set on the prize down here the entire time. And it looks like they manipulated inside this channel to come back up. So, but one of the things is I knew where I wanted to get out. So I'll end up making another video of what I expect to happen tomorrow, but that was kind of the context of like what happened today, and how we got sent down pretty aggressively. So it would have been nice to take that move. I tried to catch the reversal, but I didn't have the time and the patience to do it because I had things to do and I didn't want to risk all my money. So unfortunately, that's, we're at another loss for the day. So we'll see. Tomorrow's Fed Powell. I don't know how I feel about tomorrow. They might try to make a move early before he speaks. So I'll see how I feel, if I want to make a trade or not. But that's where we're at right now. I'll see if I could do another analysis video of what we can potentially expect for tomorrow. But thank y'all. Thanks for hanging in there. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you're able to get something out of this video. And remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Donate to the Cash App if you feel so inclined. $, MINEDIALOGUE. Email is minddialogue.business@gmail.com. I appreciate y'all as always. Thanks for hanging in there. Love.